This is gonna be real controversial, but I don't care. I gotta get this off my chest, and I gotta let. So enough of very smart people have jumped on addressing the comments of B Simone in her video where she talks about Christianity and then a lot of what we call New Age practices, saying that she's not there anymore, she needs the blood, the Bible, and prayer, all of the things. Enough of, like I said, very smart people have addressed it. I'm not here to address that. Also, I don't argue religion. I let people be what they are. If they want to believe a certain thing, no matter how much it's limiting them, then fine. Also, I have seen Christianity do wonders for some people. My mom was a victim of the crack era. She didn't get herself together till she started getting in church and practicing Christianity. So, and I can also remember times where Christianity felt good to me. So, this is the main thing and what I really want to say. And I've been wanting to say this and put it in the right words for a while. When people try to dive into, they want to dive out of Christianity because Christianity starts to feel uncomfortable for whatever reason. And while diving, they don't understand that they still have to maintain a God connection and that needs to still look like something. When I say maintain God connection, I'm not saying that it has to look like Christianity. It doesn't have to look like a specific practice. That's up to you. However, we were designed to maintain contact and connection with the divinity from which we came. We are always a part of it. It's always a part of us, but we have to make sure that we are maintaining that connection. So with that being said, you have people that dive out of Christianity and other religions and just say, you know what, that didn't work for me. It doesn't feel good. I'm done with it all. Not realizing that you have to maintain that connection. So when they dive out here in the world and they're not maintaining that connection, what they do is they find themselves just living in a kind of way because now they feel like there are no boundaries. I can do what I want to do, which technically you can, but you have to understand that there are consequences to every action. And the world, the universe is going to create all of these circumstances to show you when you're off track. And that's painful. And it causes all these other things in your life where you're going to feel like your life is falling apart. And you've never understood for real your real divine connection, and so you don't tap into that. You just out here doing anything. Well, what happens from that is you start to say, oh my God, I must be living wrong. I gotta get my life together. You run back to Christianity. And you run back to Christianity because you feel like I must be living wrong. If I go back, then I can get back on track and get saved, and Jesus will stop all these things from happening to me. Well, if you really pay attention, the things don't stop happening to you. What happens is you create fellowship, you create an environment where you do have some type of spiritual routine, and that connection I was talking about, you have a level of it when you go back to Christianity. So you feel better. Not realizing the problem was never you leaving Christianity. The problem was that you stopped having any level of divine connection. And so long story short, these people who do this run back to Christianity and then they bash these other teachings. Not realizing the issue was always within themselves. You never had the God connection for real. And guess what? When you go back to Christianity, you're going to experience the same thing over and over. And you see these people having nervous breakdowns, crashing out. The thing that they claim to be Christianity is going to keep them all together. They still the same BS that they were in the inside because they're really not doing the work. And so they crash out and they do it over and over again. And they're seeking for something that's not there because what you're seeking, you're not going to find in a religion. It has to happen, divine one-on-one connection. That's the only way it happens. I see this all the time. Like, and I when I see people do it, I just shake my head because again, I don't argue religion and I don't tell people what to believe. And I always say people can get it in their own time. So someone called and messed up the last clip, so I got to add it again. You have to remember that you got to have God in you, not on you, okay? When you got to just own you, this is how you bounce back and forth to different teachings that feel good. When you got it in you is when you know what's good for you and what's not. If you're not doing that work to make sure to get you got that God connection within you, you're gonna find yourself bouncing around. People like this bounce around because they don't have that God connection flowing to them and through them. It's never difficult. It's always there. It's always available. But it's up to us to maintain it. It's got to be in you, not on you. So you are not flustered by every little situation. You are not running from things that don't feel good because it's not in you. You are doing your own separate work. So yes, in this clip, no judgment to B Simone, but she's loud and wrong. And I know you got a lot, because I know how Christian people work, especially black Christian people. I ain't even read the comments, but I know they own it, agreeing and all that. And everybody loud and wrong because that's not how God connection works. That's not how God works. God does not need you to have a structured religion for you to connect with it. It just doesn't. You got to start doing your own self-work and stop letting people lead you to what they feel feels good for you. Everybody is perpetuating wrong information.